Eddington is the latest movie from director Ari Aster. And I hate to say this, but I think this is Ari Aster's first bad movie. Which I hate saying because I think he's such a talented director. He's always swings for the fences, and he does do that in this. But it didn't work for me. At least with a lot of the characters and message it's trying to convey. I would definitely say this movie doesn't say a lot, which was probably a problem for me at least. It's very much just showing this very extremist view of the pandemic, where everyone just makes awful decisions, makes constant choices that are very questionable and are just straight up awful people. And that can work, but this needed, I feel like, a sharper script, or I don't know, it's definitely some rewrites for me at least. I would say the big problem is that none of the characters to me have agency. They were all performed very well by their actors. Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal are especially standouts in the movie, but they all feel like they're driven by some greater power. Specifically, they make these choices that I don't buy they would do. It all feels very manufactured. Like they're serving this message that Ari Aster has. And I don't know, it's very disappointing to see this since I never felt this other movies. Everyone felt like they had agency and stuff like Midsommar or Hereditary. But in this, I just don't feel it. I would also say another problem for me is the runtime. This clocks in at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Now, guaranteed that is shorter than his past movie, Beau Was Afraid, but it's still way too long. This could have been 2 hours, an hour 50, definitely. But we get all this padding and needless characters who don't really further the story. Like, Austin Butler plays this, I guess, conspiracy guru character, and I have to say, I think you could kind of cut that character out of the story and still kind of meet the end without missing that much. I feel like there need to be more of him or less of him. And also, I feel like something that's going to be probably divisive for many audiences with this is not a movie that picks sides. This very much calls out a lot of the extremisms of the left and the right. And I think many people are going to see that as kind of disappointing. Many in the way that many people saw Alex Garland's Civil War kind of disappointing. Didn't disappoint me particularly, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't kind of make me a little disconnected from the movie. It doesn't really give me something to latch onto. And I honestly say there's not much else I can say. This is going to be a very divisive movie, but it's a good divisive. This is not like, say, something like Jurassic World or one of the Expendable movies. It's an interesting fiasco for me. I would much rather watch this than a bland blockbuster that does nothing new. Definitely, but it doesn't work for me. This is probably going to be one of my least favorite movies of the year, and I would not recommend it, at least in theaters. I would say maybe watch it at home, where you can maybe pause, maybe digest the character's choices, kind of think about what Ari Aster is trying to do. I think that's going to work a lot better, but in a theater, you're going to feel very disconnected. You can't really think right at that moment about what they're trying to be done. It's all just going to kind of, I think, leave audiences very cold, disconnected, and probably very, very unsatisfied. So I would say this is not a crowd pleaser. This is not going to be a crowd pleaser, which it never was going to be. But it's definitely going to be this year's most interesting movies. I would love to know your thoughts, and see you next time.